I'm back at East Harbor, at Harbor's Edge, and I'm going to take care of an issue that I spotted a week ago. There won't be any sailing until I get this done because we're at risk of having a demasting incident. Is when I put the sailboat together, I put the top of the forestay on the wrong spot up there. You can't see it here, but I will put a picture. The cable is actually, or the forestay is actually not between, I'm not sure what you call it at the top. It's not between the, it's almost like a U channel, but it's on the outside of it. And the only thing holding it on is the ring, the spring ring. I'm not sure what they call those either, clevis pin ring. So that's the only thing holding that cable at the top. I'm gonna have to lower the mast, and hopefully this time I remember to turn on the camera and hit record as I lower it and raise the mast. And that's this weekend's project. All right, I have a tripod, actually a bipod that I made. It's actually out of fence post. It's fencing. So I got a connecting point there that I'll bolt onto those. That's old brackets off of an old mirror, off of an old Ford. And there's a bracket on that side. And then you can see here the fence post where I actually smashed it down. Actually smashed that with a hammer to make them flat. So I could put an eyelet on both sides. And when I get this put together and hooked up, you'll see what I mean, how I raise and lower the mast. Okay, the boom is off. The main sail is off. Topping lift is off. I have the bipod mounted on both sides, and I have the Jib Halyard mounted to the top side of the bipod, and my Mainsheet block and pulley system attached to the bottom side of the bipod. So all I got to do now is loosen up the stays and lower it down. Well, here's what I use for the side, the baby stays. Keep the mast from dropping left and right as it's coming down. And I could probably do it with smaller chain, but I mean it's what I have, so it's what I use. And I use these straps because they're adjustable. When I get it all hooked up, I'll show you a couple of little secrets or tricks to keep it from getting loose or tight on the way up or down, at least in theory. It's worked for me a few times where you get it set just right. You don't have to make adjustments on the way down or on the way up. It just stays relatively tight the whole way through the travel. Alright, I have my side stays, my baby stays hooked up. The trick I was talking about is if you put the pivot point at about the surface of the top of the boat, along the pivot point of the mast step, it should stay tight, or at least relatively tight, all the way down until it travels all the way to the bottom, until the mast is laying horizontal. So we're going to try it out, and hopefully it works out, because we're going to do this in the water, which I've never done. I've never done this in the water. So the boat's going to be rocking back and forth left and right, so there's going to be a lot of pressure on that mast going left and right. So I'm hoping that doing it in the water is not a huge mistake and we crush Chris's boat or my power boat if the mast comes crashing down sideways. One more thing I have to do is I have to turn the boat around stern in because the mast would be too far out in the fairway to actually make the corrections on the way I have it mounted, the mast, or the forestay. So I have to turn the boat around, dock it in here with the bow facing the fairway. Stay centered. Try to stay centered.
You got any long logs in his way? Yeah, I got a sword before, will that work? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, come on to get the stakes out of it.
Well, right there is what I was talking about. This is supposed to be between here. So the only thing keeping us from demasting is right there.
Wait.